Selecting coilovers is a big deal for anyone modifying their car. This is a modification that will give you some of the biggest changes for your vehicle for the amount of money that you spent. Done correctly, you can have a better ride height and also better handling for your car. If you do this incorrectly, you can ruin the driving experience of your vehicle. Let's make sure that this doesn't happen to you and show you how to select the right coilovers for your car. We'll give some specific recommendations later in the video, and you might be surprised by a few, but let's get some of the homework done first. Okay, so I'm assuming here that you already have the car, or at least know which vehicle you're planning to buy. Without that, I can't really help you. Since you have the vehicle in mind, the next thing I want you to consider is what you want to do with this car. I think it's safe to say most of you watching this video will fall into one of four categories for using your car. The first and most popular is daily driving. You have a fun car that you daily drive and you want to make it a little cooler with a lower ride height and improve the handling, which can both be achieved with coilovers. Ride quality, ride height, and durability, along with handling, are your key needs here. The second category is going to be a show car. Going this route, you'll probably sacrifice some driving comforts for looking good at the show and en route to the show. Your key attributes to look for are going to be ride height adjustment and also any camber plate adjustment as well to dial in that perfect show fitment. The third category is going to be a track car. This is where handling, durability, and adjustments for fine-tuning are going to be the key attributes to look for in a track car. In order to get the most out of your chassis and coilovers, you're going to want custom spring rates, damping, and/or some rebound adjustments or even external reservoirs, which are going to help with cooling the shock fluid since you'll have more fluid in the system. The fourth category is going to be a mix or two or even three of the categories I mentioned before, and I think this is the second most popular route to go besides a daily driver. So most of us don't have the money for a dedicated show car or track car, so we put some daily driver miles on whatever else we're using it for. The name of the game here is compromise. Since you're going to have to make sacrifices somewhere, whether it's daily driving comfort, ride height, or adjustability. You can't have your cake and eat it too. We got to dream a little bit there and think of how cool we're gonna be when our new coilovers, we got them all set up, we're using our car, but we gotta go back to reality. I'm sorry, reality's gonna hit us in the face here because we need to talk finances. More specifically, we gotta talk about your budget. Money isn't fun to talk about unless you're super rich, but fear not, I'm on a budget just like you. Be honest with yourself here and understand what you can actually afford. There are a lot of coilover options out there, and having a budget will help you narrow your focus and allow you to do a better research on a few different sets versus just looking at a ton of different options. You gotta narrow your focus to do better research. If you want to stretch your budget a bit, we do have financing as low as 0% interest available if you qualify. If you have something like a tax return or maybe even a bonus from work coming in later, but you wanna get those coilovers now, I hear you. Financing is a good option to get the coilovers now, then pay for them later with the money that you know you have coming in. Let's set some budget ranges though. We're going to make 3 tiers of budgets. Tier 1 is going to be from $650 to $1,000. I'm not going below that to talk about eBay or no-name junk because it just isn't worth the effort. That stuff sucks, don't buy it. Tier 2 is going to be from $1,000 to $2,200. This is going to be the heart of what I really recommend because it's a good middle ground and a great bang for your buck section to spend your money. Tier 3 though is going to be for anything over that $2,200 mark. You'll have some higher mid-tier stuff here all the way through super advanced remote reservoir race car stuff. There's a huge range here, but after $2,200, you can kind of get anything you need. Okay, with that boring stuff behind us, let's get into what you should buy with a pricing system in mind first, then talk about applications you can use within that price range. So we're gonna start here with Tier 1 price range. That's from $650 to $1,000. If you want your car to be a daily driver, show car, or a mixture of both, this is a category that is good for you. You're going to get damping adjustment, but not custom spring rates or rebound adjustment in this price range. You can get away with some light track duty here, but if you want to do more track stuff, you're gonna wanna stick around for one of the next segments of budget. All right, so here in the Tier 1, start off our recommendations with the MTS Technik Street series of coilovers. They're kind of a new kid on the block and a brand you guys just can't ignore. They actually use springs from Eibach here, and they're a good bang for your buck. This brand started in Europe, but they stormed our shores about a year or so ago, and they have been making waves with us. All we have heard are great things from the product, from you guys, and also from our customer support feedback you guys have given. The Tein Street Advanced Z line of coilovers is next, and this is for anyone looking for some JDM cool points, but you're on a budget. I like these for daily driver setups since they are known to be durable at this price point, but that comes with a sacrifice of adjustability. Remember we talked about compromises before? Well, ride height is adjustable by moving the spring seat up and down instead of the body of the shock. If you're gonna go super low, your ride height is gonna be really harsh. Evolved Autosport is the last brand in the Tier 1 category I want to cover. They are also kind of new to the scene, and we actually developed them through MA Performance. These can be adjusted to be super low. You are going to wreck your oil pan if you want, because you can get these so low. That's done through the shock body, so you keep the preload set, and you also get damping adjustability. If you do a mix of daily driving and a little bit of autocross type stuff, I would recommend these. I personally have had a lot of seat time in our BRZ with these equipped, and I absolutely love them. All right, Tier 2 is next, and as a reminder, coilovers in this price range from $1,000 to $2,200. This is the tier with some of our most popular options, and for a good reason. At this price point, you get good adjustability and tuning, along with options for custom spring rates for a little bit more money, along with the ability to do daily driver duty, show duty, and hit the track for some actual performance. BC Racing has a number of options within this price range, starting with their BR series to their DS series, and all the way up to their ER series. The BR series are the most popular and most affordable, offering 30 clicks of damping adjustment, camber plates, and custom spring rates, along with Swift spring upgrades. And it only gets better with the DS series because you get better valving and damping, and then the ER gives you further adjustment and external reservoirs to increase the volume of fluid in the system for better cooling. Kind of said that before. The BR series is great for street driving and show duty since you can go pretty darn low and light track work. The DS and ER give the ability to hit the track like a true race car, and they're going to hold up better to abuse. My vote is for the DS series. It's the best bang for your buck in the BC Racing lineup. Fortunato's next, and is also one of our most popular options. These will be great for daily driving, have options to go hella low for you show folks, and withstand the abuse on the track. I have them on my IS300 drift car, which also gets daily driven. You get all the height adjustability, digressive piston for better damping and response to bumps, camber plates, and also custom spring rates, along with some Swift spring upgrades. Finally, in this category, let's talk about ST suspension. So that's the last one we have in the Tier 2 pricing. If you didn't know, ST is part of the KW family of products, and it benefits from serious German engineering, but at a lower price than some of the KW options. The ST XTA series will get you riding right in the street, looking good at the show, and also perform on the track. They don't go quite as low as the BC or Fortunato options, but they do have customization options available for you show guys. Honestly, if you've got a daily driver that sees the track, I would highly recommend these. That race-proven tech you get from KW, well, it's infused here, which also means you get durability and dependability. I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so I'll give some honorable mentions here to some other options in Tier 2. We got K-Sports Control Pro Series, Megan Racing Street Series, Function Inform Type 4, and Silver's Neomax Series. All of these are great options. We have great things to say about them, all at this price point and for the applications that we've mentioned. Lastly, and for the most expensive Tier 3 options, we gotta talk about anything over $2,200. This is where your really well set up daily drivers come into play, and also kind of dedicated track cars. If you're in the show scene, these can give you kind of cool points at the show, but Tier 2 will give you the ride height and camber adjustability you're most likely looking for. Some of the BC options and Fortune Auto options listed before, they can creep into this price point depending on the add-ons you do with custom spring rates or Swift spring upgrades. I would absolutely recommend those, having done those upgrades myself. All right, anyways, Tier 3. Here we hit the KW lineup from the Street Series all the way to the V4 lineup of coilovers. At this price point, you'll have a great daily driver and an epic track machine with the right supporting modifications. KW has crazy amounts of R&D in their products, and they consistently make small tweaks to their lineup to keep things as good as they possibly can be. They aren't cheap, but you won't ever be let down by these since they are some of the best in the business. Depending on the lineup you go with, you also get the necessary adjustments at the top end of the lineup. You can set up your car specifically, I mean perfectly, every curve, every bump for whatever track you're going to tackle. Tein is coming back here. So they were in Tier 1, but they're back here in Tier 3 with their super racing coilover kit. This is for the track nerds since you get external reservoirs at a pretty reasonable price, along with the adjustability you expect from a true track coilover with camber, caster, ride height, damping, compression, and rebound adjustments. These are really slept on in my opinion, and they give you some of the serious bang for your buck. Tein doesn't really talk about these a whole lot, so I will do it for them. Ohlins is going to close out our lineup here with their road and track coilovers. They are pretty darn good at conquering the road and track like the name suggests. Ohlins has some cool tech, and in these you get their dual flow valve technology, which lets you quickly change the stiffness of your shocks from street mode to track weapon mode. You also get some extreme durability with these to kind of withstand whatever you throw at them. All right, if you are still watching, I want to say thank you, and this concludes our lineup of coilovers. Yeah, it was a lot, but we are here to educate you to make the best purchase. It's your money that you worked hard for. Head on over to fitmentindustries.com to check out any of the coilovers we mentioned above. And honestly, if you've got questions, because this is kind of complicated, please ask them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer any and all of them down there. This is what I'll say. Thanks again for watching, guys. Check it out, fitmentindustries.com.